Assalamu alaikum. Hoping that you all will be doing good at your homes. Starting with the wise words, if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. Dear student, in the last videos of social studies, we have completed our 2 chapters of geography section of social studies course content. I hope you understood them well. Now we have the 3rd chapter of the same geography section, that is chapter number 4, Minerals and Natural Resources of the Muslim World. In this lesson, you will read about the minerals and the natural resources that are found in the Muslim world, how these natural resources or the minerals occurs in the nature and from which countries these are producing, and how we are using these resources for making so many other things that are used in our daily life. You will also read about the countries that are producing these resources in abundance and also exporting them for their economic growth. To understand the chapter, you first have to understand the terms that are used in the chapter, that is minerals. इसको उर्दू में मादनियात कहते हैं. Its definition is, it is a solid, naturally occurring substance that is found in the nature without any interference of the human beings. It is further divided into 2 basic categories, like, or we can say these are the 2 basic types of minerals as well: metallic minerals and non-metallic minerals. What is the difference between these two? Metallic minerals are those minerals which contains metals in them. It contains metals, so it can be heated and turns into the liquid, and that liquid is further used for making so many other useful equipments, we can say chemical equipments and different things that are we using in our daily lives. For example, gold, copper, silver. Considering the very first example, gold, that is very commonly used term, or we can say it is used in our daily life as a jewelry. Secondly, not only for the making of jewelry, but so many other things like satellites are made from the gold, like teeth are made from the gold, and so many other electrical equipments are made by using this gold, that is a metallic mineral. Now, on the other hand, non-metallic minerals. These are the minerals which do not contain metals in them. For example, limestone, salt, sulfur, diamond, etc. And these are mostly, we can say, are the stones. But it doesn't mean that these are not useful. These are also very useful because they are using in so many other processes and the things that are used in our daily life, or we can say, like, for example, sulfur is used for making explosives, diamond is used for cutting different things, and salt is a very common thing that you are using in your life. The next term is natural resources. इसको उर्दू में कुदरती वसाइल भी कहा जाता है. These are the materials and substances occurring in nature which can be exploited for economic gain. ये वो चीज़ें हैं जो नेचर में अकर करती हैं एंड हम इनको यूज़ कर रहे हैं for what? For the economic growth. Now, natural resources is a broad category. It is further divided into the 2 categories, that is renewable natural resource and non-renewable natural resource. Now, what is the difference between these two? Renewable natural resources are those resources which can be produced again in the nature. For example, we have plants, we have animals. We are using both of these in our daily life, but these are producing again in the nature. On the other hand, non-renewable resources are those resources which cannot be renewed in the nature, or we cannot produce them. These include minerals that you have already read, soil, and fossil fuel. Fossil fuels. What are the fossil fuels? These are the fuel, or we can say energy resources as well. These are generating or producing in the nature because of the dead organisms that were once lived on the earth's surface. but this process takes, the production of the fossil fuels take millions of years, and it is not a easy process, or we can say कि जैसे रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज हैं जो हम इजीली ईयर्स के अंदर ही रीग्रो कर सकते हैं, ये ईयर्स में नहीं होते, इसके लिए मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स वी कैन से यूज़ होते हैं फॉर द प्रोडक्शन. सो दीज कैन नॉट बी रिन्यूड in the nature. So what we have to do, we have to use these resources in a sustainable manner so that they can be present for our future generations as well. Now coming back to our book, page number 17. The first two natural resources that are mentioned here are oil and natural gas. What is oil? Oil is a chemical substance and a viscous liquid. केमिकल सब्सटेंस है एंड एक गाढ़ा सा लिक्विड है दैट इज़ फाउंड इनसाइड द अर्थ सरफेस. एंड नेचुरल गैस इज़ अ गैस दैट इज़ जनरेटेड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ डिफरेंट प्रोसेसेस अकरिंग इनसाइड द अर्थ सरफेस, एंड दिस गैस primarily contains methane in it. How these are formed in the Earth's surface? Their formation begins in warm shallow oceans present on Earth's surface millions of years ago. They were containing dead organisms plus inorganic materials. After years and years, when they were trapped inside the Earth's surface and covered with the layers of soils and rocks, they were transferred into oil and natural gas. Here I have a picture to show you the formation process of oil and natural gas in the Earth's surface. In the part A, you can see dead and decaying organic matter are present on the surface. Then they were converted into the trapped fossils by the sedimentary rocks. Then in the part C, you can see they were further covered with the impermeable rocks and converted into wood, oil and natural gas. What are impermeable rocks? These are the rocks which do not allow water or any other liquid of the earth above the earth's surface to pass through them, and that's why the substance that were trapped in them were pressurized. उन पे pressure पड़ा, and with the heat and the pressure, that dead and decaying organic materials were converted into wood, oil and natural gas. When we talk about the Muslim world, we can say that much of the Muslim world is not very fertile for agriculture. Why? Because of the lack of water, or we can say poor soil. Lack of water, there are the Muslim countries you have read mostly were on the desert areas where there was less precipitation, and that's why the presence of water were very much low. And secondly, poor soil means that do not contains nutrients in them for the growth of the agriculture crops. But still the Muslim world is foremost the important region of the world for production of the valuable natural resources that are oil and gas, and we can say coal as well, that are found in the Muslim world. These natural resources are not only used by the countries which are producing it, but they are also exporting these natural resources to the world that is, we can say, desperate for the petroleum. Why they are desperate? क्यों उनको इतनी ज़रूरत है petroleum की and these natural resources की? For the development of what? For the development of industries. Industrialization in the modern world is a very important thing. दुनिया में जितनी भी तरक्की हो रही है, दैट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन. इंडस्ट्रीज़ को रन करने के लिए वी रिक्वायर फ्यूल. फ्यूल कहाँ से आ रहा है? दैट इज़ फ्रॉम द नेचर, एंड दैट इज़ मोस्टली फाउंड in the Muslim world. We cannot say that other countries of the world are not producing this oil and natural gas. Other countries of the world are also producing this oil and natural gas, but among all the countries of the world, Saudi Arabia, that is a Muslim country, is the largest producer of the oil, and it is followed by so many other countries as well. So the world is in great require of these resources for development of their industries and for the production of different things that are further exported to the world and to gain the economy. On the whole area of the Muslim world, we can say third of the world's output of oil is, and 15% of the natural gas is from which area? From the Muslim world. More of these energy resources or sources are being discovered all the time, especially gas in Pakistan. Here we have a picture. This complicated machine is a gas well. Gas hundreds of meters below the surface is brought up with the help of such machines as shown in the picture. As we have already read that Saudi Arabia is the world, we can say, largest producer of the oil and in the Muslim world as well. After Saudi Arabia, Iran is on the second number, and also another country, Iraq, has huge reserves of oil. But today, because of some reasons, the political reasons and some documents that are signed by the Iraq is banned from exporting such this oil to the other countries, and only a small amount is exported. If Iraq again is allowed to export all the oil that is produced by it, we can say Islamic world will produce more than half of the total world supply. दुनिया में जितनी भी ऑयल की प्रोडक्शन हो रही है उसमें से आधे से ज़्यादा कहाँ से एक्सपोर्ट किया जाता, कहाँ से भेजा जाता? फ्रॉम द मुस्लिम वर्ल्ड. बट दिस इज़ नॉट रियली नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ द बैन that is on Iraq. Now why Iraq is banned to export this oil? You have to search it by yourselves and you have to find its answer. It is a kind of your task as well. We have other Muslim countries as well which are producing a great amount of oil and natural gas. For example, Bahrain, Qatar, Abu Dhabi in the UAE also produce large amount of oil. Abu Dhabi has 9% of the total world oil reserves and 5% of the natural gas. When we are talking about the other countries, there is a country we are living in is Pakistan. Pakistan is also producing this oil that is a crude oil. We can say that is not of that much good quality, but still it is producing 22.6 million of oil. That seems a very large amount, but when we talk about Saudi Arabia is producing this amount of oil every 2 days. जितना पूरे साल में रिकॉर्डेड में ये इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे पास 2007 की है, हम पूरे साल में इतना ऑयल प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, सऊदी अरेबिया 2 दिनों में उतना ऑयल प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है. तो इट मीन्स सऊदी अरेबिया इज़ द लार्जेस्ट, बट स्टिल वी हैव सम क्वांटिटी ऑफ oil as well. Now, these states, Bahrain, Qatar, and these are collectively known as Gulf states as well. Here we have a map that is showing you about the Gulf states that are here. Why these are known as Gulf states? Because these are on the Persian Gulf. We can say Mediterranean Sea in the Western Asia as well. Now, this is the extension of Indian Ocean that is going inside the countries. यहाँ पर हमारे पास Indian Ocean है, and ये Indian Ocean further जो है इसकी एक inlet we can say is move towards what? Move towards the countries. So the countries around this are known as Gulf states. Here we have another picture that is showing you the extension of Indian Ocean in the countries. You will be clear about it. Here is an info box on your book, page 18, which is saying 12% of the world known gas reserves are in which state? In the Gulf state, that is Qatar. The North Field, which is half the size of the Qatar itself, is the world biggest single reservoir of natural gas. दुनिया में जितनी भी natural gas की reservoirs हैं उसमें से एक biggest single reservoir है जो अच्छी खासी अमाउंट में नेचुरल गैस प्रोड्यूस कर रही है. Here we have a pie chart as well. This chart is showing you about the countries, Muslim countries on one side and the non-Muslim countries on the other side. These are the countries which are producing the oil, and these are, we can say, top 15 producers of oil according to a record that was made in 2008. On the Muslim side, you can see here is Saudi Arabia, Iran, Kuwait, UAE, Nigeria, Libya, and Indonesia. On the other hand, the non-Muslim side, we have Russia, USA, Mexico, China, Canada, Norway, Venezuela, UK, etc. Here is a table which is showing you Muslim countries that are producing oil and gas. Here we have some names that are Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE, Iraq, Nigeria, Kuwait, Indonesia, Libya, Oman, and Bahrain. On the other hand, we have the countries which are producing gas: Indonesia, Algeria, Uzbekistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Pakistan. After Saudi Arabia, USA is the second largest producer of oil, but it consumes twice as much as it produces. जितना oil USA produce करता है उससे double जो है उसकी consumption है, because it is majorly industrialized country, so they are using that oil in their industries for the development. So it has to import the oil from the other countries of the world. When we talk about the Muslim world, in the Muslim world, Iran comes in the top 15 consumers of oil, but Iran is producing 3 times as much oil as it is using, so it don't have to import the oil for its use. The consumption of oil in Iran is greater because it is using it in industry and for turning seawater into fresh water. Seawater, you all know that seawater is salty, and to convert that salty water into the fresh water, they are using fuel, and that process is called desalination. These were the major uses of oil for the industries. Apart from the energy resources, oil is being a raw material, or we can say a material that is used for making different products that are made from it. Here we have some pictures that are using oil. For example, fuel for vehicles and aircraft, liquid gas for cooking, bitumen for roads, roof, waterproofing, for making tiles, kerosene for cooking stoves, पेंट्स को बनाने में यूज़ होता है, इंक्स के लिए यूज़ होता है, मशीनरीज को लुब्रिकेट करने के लिए यूज़ हो रहा है. सेकेंडली इसके अलावा जो है ये यूज़ हो रहा है फॉर कॉस्मेटिक्स, दैट इज़ अ वेरी कॉमन थिंग. डाइज ऑफ ऑल काइंड्स, जो कपड़ों को डाई किया जाता है, उनका कलर चेंज किया जाता है, उसमें यूज़ हो रहा है. प्लास्टिक्स की मेकिंग में यूज़ होता है, डिफरेंट तरह की. Now you will be wondering that these all are the different things, so how the oil is using in them. When the oil is extracted from the ground, it is further refined because it is a thick black sludge. एक ब्लैक सा गाढ़ा सा थिक सा मटेरियल होता है जिसको रिफाइन किया जाता है, एंड पेट्रोल को उसमें से सेपरेट कर दिया जाता है, एंड द अदर केमिकल्स दैट आर प्रेजेंट इन इट आर separated from it, and that chemicals that are separated are further used in all the things that we have discussed. So this was all about our today's lecture. Hope you understood it well. Till the next lesson, stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.